finish off the day. Appropriate that we've got an American on the tatami to close things out. It's Ota Hyoga of Japan up against Harun Sadikovic of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Here are the highlights of the way that these two got to this final.
So Ota, I think we're going to be looking at that Ouchi or the Uchimata, somewhere in between. And he also had some nice Osai komi as well. Sadikovic, slightly bigger player, big harai maki komis, and then following it up with Osai komi.
Well, I've really enjoyed this competition.
Yeah, I'm just trying to follow Ota's road to get here, and I think he's fought some pretty big competitors.
What, size-wise?
Size-wise, yeah.
Well, he beat Panko in the semi-final, didn't he? And Panko, you know, he had a bit of weight on him.
Yeah.
Praxedes is the heavy boy from Brazil.
And
then
Arabli,
Nicholas Arabli, he's another big heavy one.
Yeah.
And in the opening contest, Martinas Vaskovicius of
Lithuania.
Yeah, that's right. The final of the plus 90 kilo category.
A bigger challenge than some of those big guys from the preliminary in terms of experience and skill. And you can see that now. He's looking for that makikomi, trying to set that arm up. Ota cannot allow him to get that high hand grip. Pretty much that has been the detriment of most of the Japanese fighters, allowing that big, working for Shimewaza there.
Just for a moment, I think just for a moment, I thought he was going to work a turnover there. But it would have needed him to have trapped a shoulder and then one hand, but he didn't follow it up.
These Japanese cadets, when they allow their opponents to get those high grips, that's when they're really at a disadvantage. And almost a Sasai there by Blue, followed up by a Uchimata attempt in which White actually missed the leg.
Yeah. Sadikovic has got the height and the reach advantage. No doubt about that.
I would be coming over the top all day if I was him.
He wants to come inside, doesn't he, Ota, to be honest, with that right hand. Uchimata.
Oh, and he almost goes down with Sasai.
No, that's not a Yuko, I'm sorry. That is not Yuko.
And it's waved off.
It's on the other side of the referee, he can't see that.
Right.
And with a corner judge there, what would have happened was the referee would have looked at the corner judge would have just
waved it off.
Well, he wouldn't have even waved it off with his hand. He'd have just looked in his eyes and said nope.
Nothing.
And he wouldn't give it. But it's away from him. It looks like a score. He gives it, and then he hears in the earpiece, no, I'm afraid it's not.
A Sasai attempt there by White. Oh, he's looking. He's trying to pry that arm up. It's not going to happen.
There was a point that someone that we had an email, and Richard brought up a really good point. I haven't had a chance to debate it yet, but Richard, thanks very much for that. We may look at that in Rio when we've got a little bit more time.
Look at this high grip here. This is dangerous.
There he goes again. He can't sit on it. He's got to attack right away. And for me, that's not immediate. He puts the hand over and he sets up the attack. And now he pays for it. Yeah. You can't set it up. It's grip and go.
Grip and rip.
Not grip, look, go. No, it's grip and go. He pays the price for that, picks up a penalty. An unforced error, in my book, that is.
And Ota he's doing a little ashiwaza here, but what you were talking about before, he needs some renakawaza. He needs it. I like that Sasai that he attempted about a minute ago. But he's got to do something forward. And then when he comes back to the Sasai, and that's the kind of thing. I mean, Moneta is the master of that, but he's really subtle about it.
They take time before he gets up to that kind of level.
Yep.
And I'm just reminded when you mentioned Moneta that these are just youngsters, to be honest. We're asking a lot of them, but it's only because we've seen so many good things.
Yep.
And if we'd come here and we'd seen that he's done it again, picks up a second penalty. It's only because we've seen so many good things that you get, to believe that it's.
Pick up something here.
Yeah, he's on his way now. Yeah, see him.
He's going to send off. Going to wave that off. So still just one penalty to blue, none to white. There's 2 to blue, none to white. Just 15 seconds.
I really don't understand that. They've said so many times about that grip over the top, and they're just inviting players to do it if they allow that to happen.
And Ota survives, basically. He tried some Sasai things like that, but I would have liked to have seen it, some more attacks. Ouchi would have been a little bit too much, I think, against an opponent that size.
We're slightly denied the spectacular end to what really has been a terrific 4 days, absolutely terrific 4 days of competition. I'm going to leave aside a couple of the heavyweight men's contests that let us down, but only because the women came to the party this time and we had 3 good matches. In particular, the women's plus 70 kilo category, which, how can you say that it lives up to its billing? It's the lowest billing on the card, the women's heavyweight one. It exceeded all expectations. Morgan Duchesne gave absolutely everything in that final. Guzmari Garcia came up with an absolutely crushing technique to win. And for me, that was really, really worth it. Courtney Reed is just in front of us, and we're going to have a word with her in a couple of minutes when we get out of here. But what we want to do now is to thank you before we come to the close for joining us. We've had an absolutely terrific time here in Miami. We look forward to bringing you action from Rio, and I hope very much that David's going to join me in Rio. That may be on the cards. If you
see if I can manage that.
Clear it with Mrs. McFall.
And my boss and my other boss.
Okay, now we've got no more judo for you. That's it for the live judo. Let's go to the awarding ceremonies, and we'll talk you through those.
And coming up, we're going to have the award ceremony for the men at the plus 90 kilos category, which we had some pretty decent performances here. Actually, some who didn't make it to the podium. For example, Palian. Others who were very deserving the medal category. Unfortunately, kind of anticlimactic final, but Ota pulling it out as a result of penalties in the final match. So as we prepare for the men's ceremony, and here we go to the podium. And the bronze medal winners as they enter the arena, we have Shakabazov of Russia and Katanga from France.
Messi Katanga, he's taken off that strapping that was on his lip.
No, I would describe him as a strapping young man.
Strapping young man. He's got rid of that. He's got some moves though. When he was coming off the mat, they started playing that bop around music. He was off and running, wasn't he?
That's right. That's right. And then moving over to the other side of the podium, the silver medalist here, we have Sadikovic. And taking the championship is going to be Hyoga Ota from Japan.
I'll tell you what, if they could end up saying taking the heavyweight gold medal in Rio, they would love it.
Yeah, well, that might be a bridge too far.
Careful, you've got to go back to Japan.
I think even the Japanese would admit that might be a bridge too far.
That would be a mountain to climb.
It's funny, talking during the break with someone else, and they were mentioning Shichinohe.
That's right, yeah, Shinoe, yeah.
And he's going to have to step up. There were some expectations of him perhaps winning the All Japans this year, but that didn't happen. That went to Anai. So the men's heavyweight division has some work to do, and perhaps we saw a glimpse of the future with Hyoga Ryota.
It's the Japanese national anthem.
That was worth coming out.